Find out what's hot and what's not with Samantha Mann.
My name's Samantha Mann. This is CLUBAVISION on tour, beaming the best in clubland straight into your living room. And although it may be cold and wet outside, we've got a serving that will warm you up, to be sure.
To be sure, sir.
We're kicking things off at the Met over the water in Ireland, then having a chit-chat with Cinta. Has she answered the phone yet? And checking the tunes of DJ Magazine's dance chart. And then to end the show, we're going to Movimento at Grace in London.
Hi, I'm Cinta. I'm the vocalist of the song Communication. You're watching CLUBAVISION and don't answer your phone.
Over the last few years, the club scene in Northern Ireland has exploded, with clubbers hungry for tunes tougher than Tyson. And every weekend, 1,500 of them travel from all over the country to the Met, one of the country's leading venues 3 miles away from Armagh. Now, I've heard the Irish are up for it, so I thought I'd join in with the crowd. I'm joined by Mark Dobbin, a man of many talents. Mark, you've been involved with the club since '96 when it opened. What does your job involve?
Well, basically my job to make sure the DJs arrive on time from the airport, make sure they arrive to the club on time, and make sure they go on time. And basically to make sure that the DJ performs right and to make sure the DJ enjoys himself for the rest of the night.
You also introduce them, don't you, and you do a bit of MCing?
Yeah, well, I do a little bit of MCing, just hype the crowd up, just make sure that the crowd knows exactly what's going on the night in the club.
You've been DJing for over 20 years now. How have you seen the music scene evolve over here?
You've just given away my age. I've been through, in 20 years, I've went through, when I ever used to DJ at the start, we used to have half an hour of at least slow dances, which you would call your chance for a dance, your hope for a grope if you're lucky. And it's just progressed since then, and now I'm still in it, I'm still with it, and I love it.
You do a bit of percussion as well, don't you?
I've known to hit a few drums in my day.
You doing some here tonight?
Yeah, certainly, yeah.
Music up here is very hard and trancey, whereas the south it's more sort of hip-hop and soul. Why is there a north-south divide?
Basically, I would say that we're more like North England, gradually getting into Scotland, and basically Northern Ireland people, we just like to come out and we just like to party.
How can you see the club scene going in the 21st century?
Well, basically, Sam, I honestly think that Northern Ireland is going to get bigger, and much, much better.
I'm joined by the two residents here. Introduce yourself, guys.
I am Mandy Reid.
Hi, I'm Mal Black.
The music over here in Northern Ireland seems quite hard and trancey. Why do you think that is?
If you wanted to maybe go right back in history, it was sort of influenced a wee bit from Scotland and say from the early rave days in Scotland maybe. We are sort of associated with more Scotland rather than Southern England. I suppose it stems a wee bit from that, but I think with England catching up with us and us sort of slowing down a bit, I think we're getting sort of closer together.
How would you say the big clubs over here in Northern Ireland compared to the big clubs in England?
Well, I think we're slightly behind than in England. I think Lush is it's pushing forward more than what we would be. Lush is Col Hamilton, he's pushing it forward. You've got the coach, it's really working towards it as well, but they are a good bit forward, but we're working on it. We'll get there someday, we'll get to be as big as them.
You've played with some of the big names, Rob Tessera, Torpor. How does that feel when you're up against them?
It's pretty cool because you get to meet them. You always hear them on the radio, and you always sort of get to you get to talk to them, you get to meet them, and you sort of see their styles and playing in and around them. It's pretty cool. So it's nice to put in your CV that you've played with the top names.
Mandy, you voted #1 female DJ in Ireland by BBM. How did that feel?
Pretty awesome. I think it was easy enough because, you know, there isn't that many female DJs over here. There's only, I think, 3 or 4, but it was awesome to get that award. Like, you know, it means a lot to me, you know, my career. It's like I've got an award, you know, and the other girl DJs, they didn't, you know, and it's the same in England as well. It's very male dominated, you know, which is sad really, but that's just the way it happens.
You started off with a mobile disco, didn't you? What made you throw away the Birdie song?
Well, it's just a sort of progression of time. You know, been in Ireland here, it's where we, in sort of the mid-80s when I first started out, we were a bit sort of behind the scene, but with new technology and internet and stuff, we all have sort of technology has brought everything very forward advanced, and we have caught up somewhat, and a set of mobile decks and a mobile V speakers in a club like this wouldn't really work much. So I think it's just a natural progression.
What about your plans for the future then?
Obviously we've plans to make a record in the new year. That might sort of gain ourselves some recognition, and you never know what sort of happens from that, but it's a constant sort of push all the time to try and better yourself. You get to a certain level, and if you could maybe up it a bit again and get on to the next level would be great.
What are the men like here?
They're not too bad. All right. Most of the guys from Belfast. Belfast's a big city. So you have more, you know, trendy clothes and stuff. Armagh's a small town, so they're all ugly.
Quite a few people here, they travel quite far, don't they, to get here?
Yeah, they come from all over the north. I'm from Dungannon.
Where are you from?
Lurgan.
Castle there.
We've been coming here for about 4 years. It's been the Armagh crowd that's got the club going. The Saints Belfast crowd, but it's definitely our crowd.
And is this your local then?
Yeah, every week.
Good mod tonight. I think everybody was so excited about CLUBAVISION coming, you know. It's just fun night and everybody's going mental.
My name's Leslie Ann Shannon.
You alright?
Leanne. Leslie Ann McEwen.
The people here are so friendly, you know. And you come out to the Met, everyone's got a smile on their face, everybody's enjoying themselves. Who's your favourite DJ?
Judge Jules, Paul Paul. The DJs are brilliant as well, Mandy and Wow.
Mandy, Reid.
Judge Jules, Pete Tom, Des Mitchell's been here. Paul Oakenfold is brilliant. Yeah.
What do you think about the club closing at 1:30?
To stay open later. Too good of a night to leave that early.
I was here at 8 o'clock tonight because you don't get the full time out. When half one comes, nobody wants to go home. Like,
There's nowhere really stays open any later. Maybe up in Belfast, but nowhere here. And like it's down in Dublin, like it's different. You know, they open to about 3 or 4 in the morning.
where else do you go out clubbing?
Nowhere. Lush and Kelly's, Boom Boom Room and Bangor. Kelly's and maybe the Grill. Newry, the Relic. Belfast. Space in Belfast, supposed to be good, but I've never went. Coach in Banbridge. Army at Stad, drives the bus.
Have you got a favourite tune at the moment?
Somebody answered the phone.
Oh, we always like party time in here. Party time's the big Met tune, yeah. What are you doing for New Year?
Pardon?
What are you doing for New Year?
I'm in here. 62.50 a ticket, 3 nights. Club.
Anytime I've been here, I've never seen a fight. I've never seen any Holland. Definitely a good nightclub. Excellent nightclub.
No, we're thinking about coming here because we've got a really, really good lineup going. Everybody's in a real good, happy mood, and you just get on them and you talk away, and then you take them home to parties and all. Brilliant. Goodbye from the men. Bye.
This is Andy Manston. What do you think of it here at the Met?
Yeah, well, I've had a look around. Looks like it's going to be a really, really good night. I've not, to be honest with you, I've heard of it, but I didn't, realise it was so big, and it does look like it's going to be really, really good. I'm over here probably, I'd say about twice a month, to be honest with you. I do quite a lot of stuff in Dublin and in Northern Ireland, and I'm out on New Year's Eve as well. So it's good.
You was a bank clerk, wasn't you? What made you switch?
Basically, we started Clockwork Orange, and I just wanted to come out to Ibiza and do a party, and we approached Brandon's because he knew a few people out there, and he put us on to Miss Bistow, or Claire, who was actually in charge of the bookings for Esperity, and then we just went out there and met with Pepe, the owner, and it went from there really. And originally we only wanted to go out and do one party, and he offered us like basically every Wednesday, and I just thought, right, it's time to give up my job. And my dad was like, "You're making the wrong decision. You're gonna regret it." But it all turned out fine, you know. And then we went from strength to strength.
Do you think being a promoter at Clockwork gives you a unique insight into what clubbers actually want?
Well, it helps. Like, you know, I produce records. To be honest, I find that everything it's like a big circle for me. You know, making the music, being a DJ, and being a promoter. It keeps you in touch with everything what's going on, you know, in the whole scene. And it does, you know, it does help, because we was always trying to find ways to make Clockwork, you know, what can we do to make it that much better? And obviously, with being a DJ, playing the right music counts for a lot.
What are you producing at the moment?
We're writing a lot of songs at the moment, working with a guy called Rob Davis, who's he was behind all the stuff Grace and stuff like that. And we're just really writing songs and biding our time really until we, you know, hopefully we're looking for an album deal and stuff like that.
Is it true you had your first break as a DJ because you were in a club and the DJ actually wanted to knock off with a girl?
That's right, yeah. And you know, how do you know this? Someone's been talking. Yeah, I was in Ibiza actually, and it was in 1989, and I was sitting around a pool and I had a tape on. I'd done my own like do it yourself tape, and the guy was sitting around the pool said, "Oh, that's really good music and that." So he invited me down to his club, and next thing he's like, "Oh, do you mind going on for a bit? I want to shoot off with this bird." And I was there all night basically. He left me there. And then the guy offered me his job, but I couldn't take it obviously because I was still working. But that was it, and then it just went from there really.
You Clockwork boys are renowned for your party antics. Is it true you actually threw your record box through a window in Oxford Street?
Yeah, very so. Yeah.
What happened?
I came out of a club just round the back of Oxford Street, and just had one too many, to say the least. But just swinging it around me in the studio, and I just decided to let it go, and it went straight for John Lewis's shop window, and it just so happens that a police car was going past at the time. So,
sorry, officer.
Okay, it cost me $3,000. That's buy a new window.
Let me take you back to the Coup Club in Ibiza. 8,000 people. You knocked the needle off the record. You collapsed. You were sick on the dance floor, and then you passed out for 6 hours. Would you say that is your best moment of your career so far?
Yeah, well, I've got some worse ones, but we can't probably get them on air actually. But Danny's taken over now. He's just leading the way with like stupidity and silly things to do. He's taken my crown definitely. So.
You was once asked what you like most about yourself, and I quote, "My dashing good looks." Do you think you're a bit modest?
Who said that? Where'd you get that from?
You did.
Where from? Oh, that's off of that. Oh no, that's off that website thing, isn't it? No, that was a joke. Yeah.
Honest.
Yeah. Well. My wife would say so.
Please like, tag, share and subscribe. Up for it!
Oi!